How are you both? You good?
Good
Yeah, how you
stuff.
doing, man?
Yeah, really good, thanks. I really enjoyed the show. Mekhi, I'm going to start with you. I mean, I love your characters, and I imagine when you play a role like Marcus, which you
Uh,
must no doubt enjoy doing, is there a kind of nervous wait to hear about whether you guys have got a second season? Because I guess it's always out of your hands, isn't it? It's all you guys can ever do as actors is just cross your fingers and hope for the best.
well, that's the thing, man. It's funny, because we're dealing with a fairly new way of showing content to the world. When we would, when I would, let's say for instance when I did ER or Lie to Me or any one of the number of shows, um, you would kind of get a notification of when the show would come back, things like that. Apple, this was one of their first shows, and they were working out the kinks. So it took a little while for season two to come back around. So there was a little bit of an uncertainty, and I was very happy when they announced that we were going to come back for season two. So yeah, there is a little bit of a wait period, at least in the beginning. Hopefully, those kinks have been worked out, and now we have a more of a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, Ron, is there a kind of second season swagger when you've kind of made a first series or something and it's been really well received and it's got a fan base in place and kind of critics and audiences have taken to it? Is it when you come back to season two, is there I don't know, is there a sort of slight element of confidence, the kind of knowing of that it's been a success?
In this particular case, yes, especially after reading the script, we all felt like season two was going to be so much more powerful, so much more relevant, and the writing in season two is just phenomenal. So yeah, there was sort of an excitement and sort of a swagger, knowing that we were able to extend these characters and tell even a story that has a larger arc that hopefully will continue. And that's what the exciting part about season two felt like, that this series could run for a while. So, but you get in there, you do the work, and then you let the powers that be take care of their business.
Yeah, Micah, I mean, the whole series is built on intrigue. Like, as an audience member, just going from episode to episode, desperate to find out what's going to happen. Is it similar? Is that a similar experience to you when you read the script?
For sure. I mean, it's funny because we don't get all 10 scripts at once. We get them individually, and it's our job as actors and as artists to make sure that we are in control of the timeline of what our characters would be doing and what the things that would be happening. So it's a very intriguing journey, that most of the people wouldn't know. It's definitely something that that we have to do. We really have to be on our jobs. When you're working with this top tier level of talent, um, they put you to the challenge, and which is fine. I love the challenge, because it really keeps you involved. It really keeps you intrigued, and it really keeps you just in line with what's going on. So yeah, I mean, it's a very intriguing journey.
Yeah, Ron, can it be quite hard to keep secrets from friends and family when you know there's people around you watching the show and enjoying it? And obviously you've read the scripts and stuff. Because when I've read I've for work once I had to read a script for a series that I loved, and all I wanted to do was talk to everyone about it, and I couldn't.
Obviously, especially if people start, when they ask you about it, it's like, well, I want to talk about it, but there's certain things I can't say, and you hopefully you don't flub up and give something away. But like Mekhi said, it's a reminder that we don't get the whole story. So a lot of times there's still things in the story that I still don't know until I watch it, so we don't have the privy of watching every episode all the way through. So now that the show is being open, I'm going to be watching it just like the audience, and things are going to come out to me just as well as the audience, because obviously there are scenes that Mekhi does that I'm not in, although I've read them, but my focus is on my storyline. So there's a lot of Mekhi's storyline that I don't know about. There are scenes that he's done that I'm not privy to. So I'm not on the set when they're doing it. So that takes place for all the other characters as well. So when these series unfold, they're unfolding brand new for me, just like the audience. You know, I know my story arc, but there's a lot of Mekhi's story arc and things that's going on that are mysteries to me as well. And they're not going to be revealed because they don't give me Mekhi's scripts. So that's the element that's sort of interesting. Also, when you do the interviews, there are certain things in the story that I haven't seen yet. So I'm excited about watching as well.
Yeah, I mean, Mekhi, I mean, the one thing that does sort of bring your two characters together, of course, is Octavia and her character. I mean, she's a wonderful actress, and I just love everything she does. What's she like to collaborate with on this project?
Well, Octavia is wonderful. This is our third project together, and when I remember getting the call from Octavia about this particular project and about this particular role, and before, this is before we even shot season 1, and she said, Mekhi, we became really good friends when we did the Divergent series, and we were trying to figure out something to do together, and then she gave me a call about this. And the thing about Octavia is that, one, she's always prepared, as we all are. As myself, Ron, we come with the right questions. We come with the attitude, the fortitude to really get in there and work. But what I love about Octavia is that she's ready to go to work. She's not stuck in her trailer. She's not doing any diva stuff. She's not doing any of that. She's ready to come to work. She's ready to get the work done, move on to the next thing, And so if you work with Octavia, you better have your stuff together, okay? Because she will be extremely disappointed in you if you don't, and that's what I love about her. So when you know that you're going to do scenes, not just with Octavia or whoever, you just better have your stuff together. And working with her is a pleasure. She's great. Her whole squad is great. And she really, does bring things to the table that, other actresses, don't necessarily do.
Yeah, and Ron, obviously, this is focused around the world, obviously, beginning with a kind of true crime podcast. What do you think our fascination comes from when it comes to true crime? Because we all have it, don't we? That kind of morbid curiosity into like serial killer documentaries and stuff. We're all watching them on Netflix and watching shows like Truth Be Told. Where do you think that kind of comes from? Is it trying to understand people that are as far removed from us as could be?
Honestly, I think it comes from good writing. Mekhi and I were talking earlier in the other interview about the history of mysteries and some of the shows that we grew up watching. I think it's an extension of all that. There's always a curiosity to all of us, and it depends on how that curiosity is wrapped. And if you wrap it in a great story, then I think that's always going to be the case, right? You're always going to want to know what's around the corner. So how you going to go around the corner, how you peek around the corner, what's around the corner, what's in the basement, what's that noise? We grow up with that kind of curiosity. So I think, the better ones are the ones that are really written cleverly and get into the psychology of the human mind. So I think that's where the fascination comes from. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my final question, Mekhi, I was just going to ask you, because I've sung your name many times, because of course it features in one of the most successful and well-known hip hop songs in Lose Yourself. I was just wondering, if you're out or that song comes on the radio, do you sing along to the bit with your name in it?
No, I never do. They do it all the time. Sometimes I'll go somewhere and I don't go to the club or anything anymore. I'm becoming an old man now. But but when I'm out, the song may come on, Lose Yourself, but I never sing along. It's just one of those type of things, and sometimes people are looking at me like, hey, we know that's you, and I just have fun with it. It's all love, man, and I feel honored to be able to be a part of that Oscar-winning song. You know, it's just, you know, it's you know, and that's what we do as actors. You know, what we do is anything that we do. Like Ron right now is in New York. He's doing Law and Order. Every little piece that we do, you know, it immortalizes us, and it keeps us in the ether, if you will, forever. So that's why we take our job very seriously, and we don't take it lightly, you know. So anytime that we put ourselves in front of that camera, we are prepared. We're adamant, and we want to seek truth. And you know, that's what I love about what we do.
Well, you both keep doing brilliant work. So yeah, that truth is coming
Thank you
out.
very much. No, I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
that.
Best of luck with the release of the series.
Thanks a lot,
Thank you,
Stefan.
brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.